Hey, Coach, previously in some of these late game situations, you guys had struggled to get a good offensive look. What do you think you took away maybe from those missed opportunities that allowed you to be effective and get the outcome here today?
That's not an accurate statement. Could you be specific on
Yeah,
what?
well, the Stanford game, James had struggled to get a good shot in the Stanford game at the end. There was the game on the road at Colorado. You didn't really get a good look. The Oregon game, you guys struggled there at the end to get a good
the,
shot at the end of that
the
game. But today it seemed to work for you.
the home game against Colorado?
No, the road game at Colorado, and then the home game against Oregon.
I'm not. I thought the last shot against Oregon with 1.1 seconds left was actually a really good shot.
What would you like then about today's situation in the
But yeah, I
last
want you
shot
to
today?
be specific. Be specific with me.
Well, specifically the final 14 seconds at Oregon at home against Oregon, the 14 seconds before the last shot, you guys really didn't get an opportunity there. You had to take that time out, and then you had the look with Kerr at the end. Stanford, James had the turnover there on the charge at the end of the game. So
Are you referring to the Stanford game at Stanford?
at Stanford, correct? Yes.
I mean, look, at the end of a game, if you can get your all-conference point guard at the rim, block charge, I mean, that's a heck of a deal. I know Zaire Williams on that play did a great job taking away the layup, and we got called for an offensive foul. But straight line drives at the end of the game, that's what happened tonight. I mean, it was a drive and a great pass, and the player has to make the shot. If he didn't make the shot, you could put today's game in that same category. You could say, hey, you didn't get it done at the end of the game, coach. The play wasn't a good one. You had Azuolas Tubelis in the left corner shooting a three-pointer. By the way, it was a long two to win the game. Like, you have to get a better one than that. And then, the other part about the end of game situations is, a person that doesn't know the game well focuses on offense. Most of the time, the game is won or lost equally on defense. And, against Oregon, one of the things that we didn't do a good job of is we didn't stay on our men. Duarte took a wide open, uncontested shot, not on a set play, but on a broken play, and we overhelped. Against Colorado, when a game was about 55 seconds, a minute and 15 seconds, and you have a 3-point lead, you have to really be aware that a 3 ties the game. A 3 ties the game. So you give them a 2. A 2-point shot, you're still down 1. But in that game, again, we overhelped. We gave them a 3, and now it's a tie game instead of Arizona up 1. And up 1, tie game, late game, those are all really, really important factors. But I'm excited that Azuolas made the shot. It was a good pass. And I thought we equally defended the last play. They had the last shot of the game. We didn't, and we defended it. But what we've learned, or that we've failed in those close situations, each season represents plays like tonight. Sometimes you make them, sometimes you don't. Usually, the more experienced team you have, the better overall players you have, the more it seems to go your way. But I credit Azuolas and really James, because the previous offensive play, he made a 3-pointer. But that's how I saw it today. I wouldn't agree with, that we are a collision course of making bad decisions or haven't been able to win the close calls throughout the year. I'm not as aware of that as you are.
Coach, a career high for James Akinjo. What did you like how he played today? And do you think a game like this really put a stamp on him getting all conference?
James Akinjo, if we didn't have him, we're 17-8. I think we'd be 8-17. Maybe we might be 5-20. That's how much he means to our team. Today, he dominated the game from our perspective. He's learning how to be a true floor general, but his big heart, his just perseverance, his ability to both score and distribute, the toughness that he displays. I mean, you got to remember, he played a 9 p.m. game on Thursday. Our guys walked out of McKale quarter after 12, midnight, and they got COVID tested at 6:30. So they got a good 5.5 hours sleep, no practice, bounce back. James pretty much played the entire game on Thursday, plays the entire game here today. And at the 38-minute mark, he makes a three-pointer. He is definitely an all-conference player. And I don't think I have to even campaign for him, because the peers, my peers, the coaches in this league, when they start with Arizona, they start with him. And he's our heart and soul. And he's had a fantastic season. He really has. And, and I tip my hat to him too, because he didn't have a spring or summer, and although he was with us for a few months last season, he didn't have the traditional year, 9-month buildup that can really help a young player like him. So a lot of what you see, he did really starting from scratch here in September. But today's game, in some really pivotal moments when maybe his teammates didn't have the offensive confidence, he showed up really, really big. And that's why I'm not going to cave in to the narrative that we didn't finish games. I mean, look, at USC, part of finishing that game is parading to the foul line. And instead of it being a tough game that goes to the wire, you put them away. And James was a big part of that as well. So at the end of games, finishing games, there's a lot of ways you can do it. For example, at UCLA, there's not a better example of us not finishing a game properly. And a game that was tough at half, tough through the first 4 minutes of the second half, we really let it get away from us because we just could not stop. We didn't have any fight in us down the stretch of that game. So tonight it was good to see us be able to break through and leave with a win.
Yeah, Sean, you answered one of my questions. Where would you be without Akinjo? But where would you be without Azuolas as well? These two guys really showed up, and they've showed up a lot this year.
Well, Azuolas, he made the game-winning shot, so we'll start there. But if you look at the stat sheet, not a lot of freshmen get 16 points and 15 rebounds. And if you just really look at his overall play over the last 6 weeks, like James being an all Pac-12 player, I think Azuolas is one of the conference's best freshmen. And, it's up to me and our staff moving forward to put him in a better position on defense. He struggled tonight on defense, as did our entire team. But he'll get better just through maturity and growth and experience. But he's also 6'9", 240. And there are just certain teams you play in college when they have the court spread like Washington did here tonight. We're asking him to do a lot. And it's up to us to put him in a better position to be successful on defense and yet allow him to be, I think, who he really is on offense. And, he's certainly a unique and a very, very good offensive player.
Azuolas, today was your second double-double of the year, and your first one came just a couple of weeks ago. I guess what has allowed you to play more comfortable and play at the level that you're playing at right now?
Yeah, I feel more comfortable in this team, and they can find me, I can find them. But tonight was my mother's birthday, so I needed to go hard, to play hard, and win the game.
How have you guys, I guess, benefited from each other just over the course of the year, and how have you seen him progress?
I've seen him get a lot better. I've really seen him grow on defense over the year. I've seen him get more physical, more confident with himself in late game situations like this. And, I think we don't even look at him as a freshman. I think Azuolas is a very important piece to our team, and that's what it is. We need him to play well, and I think he's grown up and gotten a lot better.
And what would you say is probably the best part of his game that he's improved on the most over the course of the year?
It's hard to say what the best part of his game is because he is so versatile, in my opinion. He's a forward that can, stretch you out, take you off the dribble. I think that he's really grown on defense. Most of these games that we had, they played a lot of small guards at the four, so he's going to be having to move his feet a lot on the perimeter rather than the traditional defense that he used to playing in behind the basket. So I think he's growing in that area, giving more effort and just being able to keep people in front of him.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll wrap it up with Bruce Pasco. Bruce.
I was just wondering for both of you guys, how do you feel about going up to Oregon in kind of a weird situation? Of course, there's a lot of weird situations this year, but having to play them, they've had your number, but there's a chance to get back at them on the other hand.
Can't wait. Looking forward to really coming out and competing.
How do you feel about playing that, and especially after I think this game was just added like 4 or 5 days ago that boom, you got to go back there, and how do you feel?
Yeah, so we want to play them, and we need to finish the season with a win, and I don't know, it's a great experience to have one more game against a good team like Oregon. So they're kinda same team as Washington. Their defense kinda the same, so we need to work on that tomorrow in the practice, and we'll be ready to fight.